Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bunny. I know this is the channel I usually do videos with Flash. Right now, he's eating his breakfast because it's like 5:21 in the morning right now, and I got up at like 5 a.m. Um, and I've been getting up 5 a.m. for a while because I had a job location that I was working where I had to get up like earlier, and I just kind of stayed doing that whether I felt like I got enough sleep or not. I mean, so that's why I kind of still look kind of like busted, cause I usually get him situated and then I do whatever I gotta do with him, and then um, but uh, the last and for anybody who watched my last video, it got taken down. And I usually don't like doing things like that when I post a video. The last time I had to do something like that, like, was when I was with like a crazy ex, where I like, and it wasn't even like me like talking bad about him. Literally, like the video was just of it wasn't even like a video like of me talking or anything like what I'm doing right now. It was literally like a voice recording of like him like talking shit to me. And he had felt so bothered by it. Not because of like what he said or what he was saying. It was just the fact that, you know, his voice was out there for people to hear him talking crazy because he had portrayed himself as this innocent person that like never did anything wrong, never said anything wrong to anybody, um, never even, for example, looked at somebody crazy. So here I am, I did something like that, and instead of looking at the fact that like, why would she do something like that, or what I was saying was crazy, and I took it to another level, he just looked at it like, um, you know, that I kind of like disrespected him as a person. Which, in a certain extent, I get where he's coming from, but in another aspect, it was kind of like one of those, like, mm, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I violated your privacy. It was a private conversation to a certain extent, but was it really a private conversation? Because it was literally like me on the phone and him just yelling at me, making me feel like dog shit. So I don't know if that's really like a conversation. Um, but I'm kind of going off of a rant that has nothing to do with this video. So, um, I did get like, there were some people who did watch the last video I posted before it got taken down. Um, yeah, I'm like sorry about that. Like I said, you know, that maybe that wasn't the best way to go about it. Um, but it was also one of those things too, like maybe that wasn't the best way to go about it, and maybe I said some things that really took it to another level, but also in the same token, it was one of those things that, let's be honest, even if that's genuinely how I felt or didn't feel, would I have had the luxury to express that without it getting to that point? And I've said in past conversations with a few people, people tell you what you need to know, people tell you who they are, without them telling you who they are. Um, and granted, I may not mentally be where I need to be, and I kind of, been all over the place with how I move and how I think. But I will say this: um, I've always been who I've been. I know I suffered through depression, anxiety, PTSD. I know all these things. I even tried to get myself help, got told by someone who was supposed to like care for me and look out for me that, oh, you don't need to do that. So then I stopped doing whatever help I needed to get. Then I tried to do it on my own, and then it was just costing me too much money. So I have tried to seek help on things that I know I needed to work on for myself. So it's not like I was one of those people that were like crying, woe is me, I got this problem, I got to deal with these things, I got this going on, and I didn't try to seek help or look into options that might help me get to where I needed to go. Um, but with all that being said, um, I also know too, from just like my personal experience, sometimes certain things are only going to help so much. So, for example, if you're really going through some things, I'm not saying therapy would not help, but it's only going to help so much. And what I mean by that is if you don't take certain initiative steps when it comes to therapy, and if you don't take what's being said to you like seriously and follow through with what's being told to you from the trained professional, you're never gonna change what you got going on. And that's not because of other people or whatever your situation is at the time. That's literally gonna be on you. That's why when certain people say they got certain things going on in their life, I I don't just go based off of what people tell me they got going on in their lives. I go based on what they tell me as far as what their process was to try to get to their end result before they got to their end result. And what I mean by that is, and obviously it's a process, and everybody does things in their own way. Now, not everybody's gonna agree with your way. Like, I know that for a fact. But what I mean by you have to do it in your own way, if if you don't if you can't sit down with yourself and say like this is how I want to do things, and you have people answering for you or telling you how to do certain things, you're never going to fully heal from things in your life. And that's not so much dealing with like outside people, that's just in general. Like you're always gonna go back to the same way. And that's why, where I'm at right now, I mean, maybe I'm not where I want to be at right now, like mentally and all that other stuff. But I will say this: where I'm at right now, I'm actually very appreciative that, yes, my mother does want to talk, but she's stepping back. And what I mean by she's like stepping back, she's kind of like allowing me to decide how I want to go forward with how I want to deal with everything that's going on in my life. And when you, and I respect that because when you get to a certain age, at some point in your life, it's like, yeah, your parents are going to be there, but there's going to be a day where you're going to wake up and they're not. And what happens when you go through something, and it doesn't even matter what it is. It could just be something that's just going on in your life. It could be something that's going on in somebody you're close to life and you're there for them, what are you gonna do if your parents aren't around and you don't know how to deal with stuff on your own? And you're just like waiting for them to come with the answers, to come fix the problem and come with a solution. And that's why I'm actually surprised how my mother's moving with everything, because she's actually moving in a way that she got me shook. Like, I thought I had her pegged for who she was. I thought I was like, yo, I know who she is. She's like this, she like that, and she got me stuck right now. She really got me stuck. She got me over here thinking like, am I talking to the same woman I've talked to in the last few years of my life? Like, what changed? What happened? Or maybe, maybe, maybe because I'm back in her house, she realized, um, not just what she's dealing with herself. Maybe she realized that I'm going through some things, and the best way to deal with them is to just let me deal with them, and unless she needs to step in, like, then she steps in. Because I'm at that age where I have to make those decisions for myself, and I can't have someone else telling me how to do them, because it's cool and everything when you got somebody telling you how to do things and how to move and all that other stuff. But what happens when you leave the house, or what happens, like I said, when they're not around? Then what? But with all that being said, like, I haven't made the best decisions with a lot of things in the last, I'm gonna say, few weeks. And that's on me. Um, but also in the same token, um, I'm also coming to a realization that I think hurts me more than anything. It's just also that I'm coming to the realization that um, as much as I love, my dog Flash, um, and I've revolved my world around him, I need more than what he can give me based on not just what I'm going through, just in general. Because it's getting to the point where there's oh so many things that I could like burden him with as a dog. Like, I'm not saying he's not gonna be there, but there's just things he can't give me that, as much as I would love to get it from him because I made him my world, he just can't do that. And I think it hurts me that it hurt more than it hurts him, that he just can't do those things for me. And I can't even be mad at him because it's not his fault. Um, so, but not just that, but also coming to the realization of, I think the biggest slap in the face that I got was just what I realized yesterday. And what I realized yesterday was that, so there was somebody I dated when I was like 21. And we only dated for like a little bit over a year, but we always managed to stay cool. We kind of lost touch here and there. Um, but we always managed to stay friends and cool after all these years. And we've even had like conversations of like why we broke up and you know, things of that nature. Um, and what was like a big slap in the face, right, was that, mind you, I dated this man like when I was like really young, really in my prime. And, yeah, we stayed friends, we stayed cool. But it was I went like, I don't know, I don't say like what, like, I don't say like a few days. Say maybe like 5 days tops. Where I just like regular text message conversation where I just didn't reach out. Like, and it was like, right. And I would usually do like good morning, like how's everything, how's work, whatever. How's your mom? Because I know he moved back home to take care of his mom because his mom's sick. And he reached out and he was like, "You good?" Because I hadn't heard from you and I was getting worried. And I was like, "Yo, a motherfucker that I didn't even date for that long. And I dated when I was like really young. Reached out just off of, hey, she's not even like hitting me up in a few days." And I'm like, yo, like, somebody who I gave 5 years of my life to, even if it was like all over the place, I honestly feel like if I wasn't reaching out, it not, unless I was like going off the deep end and like was acting crazy and it like directly affected him and the people around him, I don't think he would have reached out just to see like how I was doing. And that's the part that I was like, wow. And it was like a big slap in the face. It was like I appreciated that somebody reached out and checked in on me, but it was like, damn, all that time, all that energy, no matter how the relationship turned out. And true and true again, it was shown that I guess time and whatever energy was put into that relationship, that I guess that doesn't even matter, because if if the person cares, they care. If they don't, they don't. And like I always say, somebody could tell you through their words how they feel, but it's just also, and it's something I have to hold myself accountable to with when I say these things, but it's also just based on their actions as well. And um, and it's fine, but it was like, it was like a big slap in the face. But I will get into I kind of got completely off a whole tangent that had nothing to do with why I wanted to make this video in the first place. So the whole purpose of this video was, so I came to a realization that there's some things that I haven't done for myself that I used to do, that used to be like a coping mechanism. It used to be something that I used to invest a lot of time and energy into. And I kind of fell off. Like, I fell off really heavy. And I used to have a way to express how I felt without hurting anybody's feelings, without making a situation worse than what it already was. but still being able to express how I felt, not so much just off of telling somebody, hey, this is how I feel, but also on some, you know, like, I need to get this off my chest, but this is my way of getting it off my chest. So I kind of wrote a poem and I named it Flash. And some of these emotions in this poem kind of express like just how I've been feeling and just the overall relationship with him, and how there's just things that he's just not going to be able to give me. I love you to the moon and back, but you're not able to help me heal. I need more, and it hurts me to say this. I'm so broken, I don't know if you can fix it or help me. I can't put all this burden on you. I haven't been in the right head space for a long time, and no one understands my pain, and I don't think anyone ever will. There are things I hold deep down that no one knows, and I fear if they do, they will hate me or judge me. So the best thing I can do is set myself free of pain. I can never heal from these things, and I know where I belong and I will go, so I can finally be at peace. So I can't be in pain anymore, and I can't cause any more pain. So I really let all this out in last night, and it was after having a conversation, and someone was like telling me like, hey, you need to get back into poetry, like, hey, you need to get back into doing things that you love to do that maybe you were good at. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I think that's the best thing for me right now. I really do. I really, really do. And that's the start. And I think the next thing I'm gonna do, and I'm probably gonna do it today when I go to work, is I'm probably going to do a list of things, like at least like 10 things at the very least, things that make me happy. And it has to be things other than Flash, because I've put a lot of time and energy into Flash, and I kind of realize I need more than Flash. And I need to figure that out. Because the only way I'm gonna truly heal the way I need to heal for just everything that I've been through in maybe the last year or the last few weeks, is I have to figure out what those things are without Flash. And when I come to that realization, I need to follow through with it, because it's only healthy and it's good for me. But I'm gonna end the video here. I gotta let that crazy ass dog Sarah back in, because she's probably waking up all the neighbors, because it's like 5:44 in the morning and not everybody gets up this early, so I gotta let her in. Splash is still in the middle of having his breakfast. I promise the next time I do a video, I'll make sure he's in it. But with that being said, that was what I decided to do today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Reach out to me on my social media. Reach out to Flash's social media, and I'll see you next time. Bye.